Welcome back. It is Friday, September 13th, and the MLB. Our four best bets are on the way. It's Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday, our third straight winning day, 2-1. Can't get the sweep, but hey, we'll keep building up that profit. Rockies, Tigers under 4.5 first five, and the Yiner, Diaz, Gleyber, Torres hit parlay. Both of those relatively sweat-free. Guardians, they scored a couple runs, but could not come through, -0.5 in the first five. More on them later on today. Logan, it's Friday the 13th. I see you're in your orange gear. You're spooked out. I love it. Let's dive into the picks today. We got 4 of them incoming. We have a couple other videos live on the channel. We should have our college football best bets video live around noon, so definitely tap into that for Saturday's slate of college football. And yeah, let's just have a good winning MLB day. We only have 4 picks today, so let's hope we can go 3-1 or 4-0. That would be absolutely electric. If we go 2-2, whatever, we'll lose some juice. But let's have another winning day. Let's go for a 4th straight. We'll start with the first pick of the day. Should be no surprise. The parlay of the day's back. These have been pretty cold, but it will be a hit parlay today. And if you saw our hit parlay yesterday, both guys cashed in the first AB. We love to see that. We'll have another one. It will be linked down below. Pinned comment description. You can find it there. Let's go for another hit parlay cash. And man, I really like the matchups today. We're going to be cooking up for y'all. So let's have a good hit parlay there. I'm going to dive into my first pick, though. It's going to go to a team that you guys know I love. I love backing them. They've respected our money all season long. It's the Padres out in San Francisco. Give me them first 5 team total over 1.5 -120 on DraftKings. Now, if you're not on DraftKings and you're like, Austin, I'm on FanDuel, I don't have a first 5 team total. What do? I would lean towards maybe back in the Padres first 5 money line. I don't love that as much because you have to count on Dylan Cease, who, I mean, he just pitched against the Giants and the man could not find the strike zone. Still got us the 6 innings we needed, but he could not find the strike zone there. I don't know if I love them on the money line first 5, but that's would be my lean. If they score 2, you're hopefully getting a push unless Dylan Cease implodes. But let's talk about why I like the Padres today against Logan Webb. Now, I normally will back the Padres at 1.5 against any pitcher, unless it's a guy that I love, and that's Brian Wu. And he had a perfect game going into the 7th inning. But the Padres, we saw, when they get kind of shut down by a righty, they normally bounce back. They did that to George Kirby with 5 earned runs on him, and let's hope they do it to Logan Webb. They've already seen Logan Webb several times this season, 3 times to be exact. This will be the 4th time. In all 3 of the previous ones, they scored 2 or more runs off of him. The only one of them, they didn't get it in the first 5. One they think they scored in the 6th. That we know they just saw Logan Webb. We saw him last week. He had 10 hits, 2 walks, only 3 earned runs, on Logan Webb. So they racked him for 10 hits and 2 walks. They didn't get the earned runs, only 3. So they still cashed this, but they easily could have 5 or 6. And we've seen Webb the last 4 starts, 2, 4, 6, and then that 3 earned run start against the Padres. His expected ERA 4.33. So obviously books think he's due a little bit more aggression than what he's been able to do. He is 9th percentile in expected batting average and 4th in hard hit percentage. We know Logan Webb's game, it's trying to keep the ball on the ground, getting those ground ball outs and turn into double plays. But relying on double plays to get out of innings is not some way I want to back a pitcher. I think Logan Webb's obviously pretty solid, but he's not been great this season, and the Padres know where to hit the ball, and they've been able to run off some hits on Logan Webb, and all it could take is a single, maybe a home run. Could take just a hit parade, which they've done time and time again off Logan Webb. I think there's plenty of different outcomes where the Padres can get 2 runs in the first 5 off Logan Webb. We should see the weather. Should be decent in San Fran. We saw in that Colin Ray disaster class where Logan had the over. Wind was blowing hard out to McCovey Cove in right field. Looks to be the same today, and we'll have a bunch of lefties in the lineup. And you look at the batters versus Webb. Manny Machado's batting .333. He's like 10 for 30 against Logan Webb. Cronenworth, 308. Profar, 286. Peralta, 333. Luis Arraez, hint, 556. Tatis, only 200. Fine, but Jackson Merrill 600. So look, they got a lot of good hitters against Logan Webb. If he shuts them out through 5, I'll tip my cap to him, but I think they'll have plenty of action on the base paths today. They just have to avoid those double plays. We know the Padres are up there in the tops of the league in double plays. If they can avoid them today, we should have an easy winner here. So give me this Padres first 5 team total over 1.5 as my first pick of the day, second of the video. Logan, I'm throwing it to you, and you're going back to the scene of the crime. I love it. Where are we going?
Yep, we're going right back to the scene of the crime, and I'm taking the exact same pick I took yesterday. That was a loser. Guardians first 5 innings, run line -0.5, -118 odds on FanDuel. Yes, we're running it back, and it's been a frustrating season for many reasons. Number one reason, I think, personally, is being a day early. And I'll be damned if I don't run this one back, especially given the matchup. It's actually a little bit even more favorable today. Yesterday, obviously, the Guardians did not get it done through 5. They ended up losing the game outright. So full game wouldn't have mattered. But today, I mean, yesterday was a Gavin Williams disaster. He just didn't really have it yesterday. I like the matchup between Zach Littell and Tanner Bybee. Let's talk about Tanner Bybee starting for the Guardians. 3.56 ERA and a 1.13 whip for Bybee. September's been a solid month for Tanner Bybee so far. 2.45 ERA in 2 games. I like to see him coming into this game in good form. Obviously, if he was hosting BP, I might be a little sketched out. But Bybee is tough on righties. Lefties have a little more success off of him. This Rays lineup's a mix of lefties, righties. Now, Lau and Lowe, they're lefty bats in there. They could maybe reach or get on base in that one. But again, some of the righty bats like Morel and Yandy Diaz, he's been tough on. So we need to see a pitcher that's not getting hit from both sides of the plate. Tanner Bybee is that. Tanner Bybee also solid strikeout pitcher, low walk rate. Again, against the Rays, you want guys that are able to put the ball in the zone, get these Rays hitters to expand a little bit, and also not give free base runners, because there's something more infuriating than watching an inning blow up just because the pitcher cannot find the zone. A knock on wood, Tanner Bybee's been pretty good at that. With 2 outs, runners in scoring position, Bybee also only allowing a 143 batting average. That's really tough. I mean, that's solid. It's things we need from him today. In the last 14 days versus righties, Tampa Bay 16th in batting average, 18th in OPS, 16th in WRC+. Middle of the pack offense against right-handed pitching. I still think Tanner Bybee can hold them down. I think he can, maybe only allow 1, max 2 earned runs through 5. Give us a chance to cash this bet, because Gavin didn't really give us a whole great chance yesterday. And on the other side, it's going to be Zach Littell starting for the Rays, 3.89 ERA and a 1.33 whip for Zach Littell. Zach Littell's advanced numbers, his StatCast numbers are not good at all. We talk about red circles, we talk about blue circles. You're going to see a lot of blue circles on Littell's profile. 28th percentile in expected ERA, 14th percentile in expected batting average. Look, his expected batting average, I think, was like 270, which is like one of the highest I've seen in a hot minute. 21st percentile in barrel percentage, 33rd percentile in K percentage. He's getting barreled up. He's not striking a whole lot of people out. Those are flirting with danger stats against the Guardians team that definitely knows how to hit pitchers like this. Littell faced Cleveland in July, went 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Solid start for him. Again, the Guardians, though, I think right around that series was when they started being the poverty Guardians, where they just couldn't score at all. They went through stretches over the last few months where they just were not seeing righties at all, and that was probably what was happening back then. Now they are at home, different change of scenery. Littell gets hit from both sides of the plate, 282 to righties, 274 to lefties. That's important because this Guardians lineup does stack a lot of lefties, so I do like that lefties do have success against him. And the righty bats can still obviously hit him 282. He gets hit from both sides of the plate. They need to be able to put the ball in play. Good things should happen for us today. On the road, he has a 4.91 ERA as well. Not all that great of a road pitcher. With runners in scoring position, 244 batting average allowed. That's okay, but it goes up to a 275 with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Guardians, I need the timely hits today. No excuses. No ifs, ands, or buts. You just lost yesterday outright. How do you come back today? How do you respond? Last 14 days versus righties, they're not setting the world on fire. Cleveland 15th in batting average, 19th in OPS, 17th in WRC+, but I still like their matchup versus Zach Littell. If they can't get it done against Zach Littell, I'll be so out on the Guardians. I'll just put them off to the side, won't touch them anymore. But I think this is a worthy run back the loss pick. I think they lead through 5 innings in this one. I do like them. I like the Guardians to get it done and get us our unit back that we lost yesterday. But Austin, you got more picks. Where are you going?
I got one more. We're going to dive into it in one moment. A pick I really looked hard at. I like backing the Twins today. I couldn't get there with the minus 140 on the first 5 run line, but they are a team that I do think win today and put up a lot of runs. I just couldn't get there. But for my final pick of the day, 4th of the video, we're going to a guy. I'll throw him on the thumbnail. Shohei Ohtani. Ever heard of him? I like his over 1.5 bases, minus 110 on BetMGM. Now, this is about minus 110, minus 120 on every buck, except FanDuel. Please don't play it there. Don't even put it in a parlay. You're paying minus 155. Logan and I are not coming on here and giving you a minus 155 base prop. Maybe a straight bet on the once a month kind of category, but not in terms of a base prop. We would never lay minus 155 on it unless we've bet a guy for 12 straight days and we're just literally running it back as a system play. But Ohtani, obviously we know how talented he is. He's been solid last 7 days, batting 333, 8 hits, 3 homers. We know he's got the power. And that's exactly what you want. We don't need Ohtani getting 2 hits out there. We want 1 hit, and hopefully it's an extra base hit. If he wants to get 2, fine. But he will face Spencer Schwellenbach, who will pitch for the Braves. Now, Schwellenbach's been solid this season. Hasn't been great lately, but he's obviously a pretty solid pitcher, but he's not unhittable. And Ohtani versus righties, batting .305 with a 1.09 OPS. And of his 110 hits versus righties, he's had 22 doubles, 5 triples, and 36 homers. That's 63 of his 110 hits, 57%. So over half the time that he's getting a hit versus righties, it is for 2+ bags, which is exactly what we want today. Now, as I said, Spencer Schwellenbach will pitch here, and he has struggled versus lefties this season, allowing a .276 batting average with an .805 OPS, much higher than it is against righties. And of the 56 hits he's allowed to lefties, 25 of them, so a little bit under 50%, have gone for 2+ bases, but it goes to show he's given up some hard contact to lefties. Now, when you look at the pitches Spencer's going to throw his way, it's 4 main pitches. He does throw a slider and a sinker roughly like 7 and 9% each. But mostly these are the 4 pitches we'll see. 26% four seam, 23% split finger, 20% curveball, and 15% cutter. We need to look at how Ohtani does against righty pitches. Here's what he's doing. 324 expected batting average versus the four seamer. 348 versus the split finger, which is Schwellenbach's best pitch in terms of expected numbers. So wouldn't be shocked if he's throwing a lot of split fingers. I anticipate he'll probably want to go to his best pitch against arguably the best hitter in baseball. Well, Ohtani's crushing that pitch. 370 versus the curveball, which with a very high slugging number there, and 306 versus the cutter. So 300 against every pitch that he's probably getting his way. If you want to fade Ohtani, the worst pitches he does are a sweeper and a knuckle curve. So find a pitcher that throws those two, and maybe Ohtani doesn't have a great game, but obviously Spencer Schwellenbach doesn't throw those pitches. We know Ohtani's batting leadoff in Atlanta tonight, so we got 9 innings of hitting. He could get up 5 chances, and if he gets up 5 times, you got to take your shots there. We know he's getting up at least 4 times unless Spencer throws a perfect game, which if he does, then I'll never bet another baseball bet again if Schwellenbach throws a perfect game tonight. You have my word. But I really like Ohtani tonight. I like his over and bases. So that's my favorite prop of the day. You could throw him in a hit parlay, but I don't like putting Ohtani in hit parlays because, like I said, I already gave you his numbers. If he's going to get a hit, it's normally for 2+ bases. So I'd rather just ask him for 2+ bases as a straight bet. Whereas other guys, maybe like a Luis Ariz out there, he's probably more you'd want him for a hit parlay. So those are 4 picks of the day. Or recap: Ohtani bases. We got Logan, Guardians -0.5, and we have my first pick, Padres first 5-team total. And our 4th pick will be our parlay of the day. It will be a 2-leg hit parlay. So if you like those, you can tail them on pretty much every single book. We'll link it down below in the pinned comment in the description. We're going to find 2 hitters we love in their matchups, and they're getting a hit today, just like Labor and Yainer Diaz did yesterday. So have a great day, and when we post our college football picks video, I'll link it on the screen. But for now, if you want to go check out our Week 2 best bets in the NFL, I'll link that there as well. Have a great Friday, and we'll see you guys back tomorrow. Have a great one. See you then. Peace.